Lay supine on the floor and lift one leg up on the bench. The leg on the bench should be flexed at around 90-degree angle and the other one should be extended and aligned with the other one. Lift your behind off the ground until your back, hips, and knee are aligned. Hold for 2 seconds and then slowly go back down. For the regression, lie supine on the floor with your feet pointing forward and make sure you can touch your heels with your fingers. Lift your behind off the ground until your back, hips, and knees are in a straight line, then hold for a few seconds. Slowly lower yourself back to the ground. For the progression, replace the bench with stability ball. Set yourself up in the same way as in the baseline exercise and perform the same movement. However, make sure you tighten your core. A stability ball will provide less stability than the bench. Attach the band to the ladder and point your feet straight forward and slightly bend your knees. Take the band in your hand and pull it across your body to about your head height. Hold for a few seconds and then slowly bring the band down. For the regression, go into half kneeling position parallel to the wall and attach the band on the bottom of the ladder. Take the band in your hands and do the exact same motion as in the baseline exercise, so pull it across your body and slowly bring it down. For the progression, go into split stance and attach the band to the ladder. Your front foot should be pointing forward and the back foot should be 3 to 4 inches behind your heel, knees slightly bent. Take the band in your hands and do the exact same motion as in the baseline exercise. For this exercise, start in a squat position. With quick motion, push off the ground into a jump and exhale. Use your arms to propel you forward. Land in a squat position and make sure your knees don't cave in. Stand approximately hip width apart. Your feet should be pointing forward, making sure you put pressure on your first and fifth metatarsal. Place your hands in front of you or on your hips. When performing an eccentric phase, make sure that your heels do not get off the ground. Lower yourself to the point of your ability and then slowly stand up. For the progression, do the exact same movement as in the baseline exercise, but instead of jumping in the air, jump forward on the box. Make sure your knees don't cave in. For this exercise, place your feet approximately shoulder width apart and pointing forward with knees slightly bent. Put your hands on the bar and put it behind your head, elbows pointing down. Bend to your waist and keep lowering your torso until you're perpendicular to the ground. Make sure your back is not rounding or arching too much. Slowly come back to the initial position and repeat. For the regression, do the exact same movement as the baseline exercise but without the bar. Make sure your feet are pointing forward and the pressure is on the first and fifth metatarsal as well as your heel. Bend at your waist and keep lowering your torso until you're perpendicular to the ground and make sure your back is not arching too much. For the progression, get into a staggered stance, your front foot pointing forward and the back of the foot 3 to 4 inches behind your heel. Perform the exact same movement as in the baseline exercise, so bend at the waist until you're perpendicular to the ground and then slowly move back up. For this exercise, get into a kneeling position. Your knees should be directly under your hips, feet in dorsiflexion. Pull the band from above your head until your elbows are in a 90-degree angle and are aligned with your shoulders. When returning to the initial position, make sure your elbows are not fully extended. For the regression, sit on the floor, your back against flat surface, and your legs flex approximately in a 45-degree angle. Perform the same movement as in the baseline exercise, so pull the band down, making sure that your back is still in contact with the wall. For the progression, get into a half kneeling position, your front foot pointing forward and the back knee 3 to 4 inches behind your heel. Perform the exact same movement as in the baseline exercise, so pull the band down, keeping that 90-degree angle in your elbow. Lie supine on the floor and take medicine ball in your hands. Your lower back should be on the ground and your knees should be bent in a 45-degree angle pointing forward. With quick motion, throw the medicine ball towards the sky and catch it when it comes down. For the regression, do the exact same movement as in the baseline exercise, but don't throw the ball towards the sky. Just initiate the throw while keeping your back flat on the ground and making sure your elbows aren't fully extended at the top. For the progression, perform the exact same movement as in the baseline exercise, but instead of keeping your legs stationary, lift them up and do a flutter kick.